Don't cry, little Job Simulator fan. Owlchemy's got enough DDS to feed you your entire life. YEESH! Bring me another $5 DLC! The fan's hungry!
Did everyone enjoy the Halloween special?
No, Randy. Only you did.
Oh, well, that was pretty much my target audience anyway.
Hi, my name is Zint, and Job Simulator Week was a massive disappointment. I'm not holding back any punches here. I am tired, I am sad, I want to complain. In case you haven't heard, Job Sim turned 10 years old 2 weeks ago, and Owlchemy promised they were going to make the entire week about Job Simulator and its legacy on the VR. They also said something about new content like dead vlogs and other more vague things throughout April. Well, folks, Job Simulator Week is over. Owlchemy has reverted all their socials back to their original profiles, and everyone is talking about the new DDS DLC, Sporlando. What happened that week? Was there a new game announced? Did the anniversary stream have anything new to say? The short answer is no, nothing new happened. Sorry, guys. We're starting off kinda sad. Let's start positive. A Job Simulator U2 is coming out this summer. It looks like a keychain in the promotional image, so my best guess is around $20, $23 USD in comparison to products like it. Currently, it seems to be only JobBot and there's no actual figure. Guess I'll have to tuck this away for now. Owlchemy posted fan art on their socials every day last week. They shared 7 pieces and 6 artists in total. I was featured on their page with my JobBot and Alice art along with, what the? Joboto? It's not my subtle pieces either, like this was my only obvious and clear ship art of the two, and I drew this in October. Look guys, Borg Protocol on the Owlchemy account. This must mean Proto's gonna appear in the next game because the community managers literally say that anything they say is canon. They were called an iconic duo and everything. Please, I will not shut up about this. You gotta believe me. And that was basically everything positive. It is not looking good. I guess it's time for the more underwhelming news. The fan art showcase did last the entirety of a week. 2 of the pieces shown were from the same artist. Their art's great, big fan, but we only had 7 days to show off the fandom. I'm not sure if they're gonna post more as April progresses, but I'm hoping for more fan art showcases in the near future. Maybe an art competition, or perhaps a fan art Friday like they did back in 2023. Let's tackle the big fish, the 10th anniversary stream. You may be asking yourself, why is this in the underwhelming news? Well, dear viewer, it's because nothing of note was talked about in the stream. First off, the stream started a whopping 30 minutes late, and when they came online, their audio quality sounded like this.
Specifics of what you're doing, which I think is very neat. Yeah. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Stoner Campaign. We're here to talk about
for the whole stream. In the anniversary stream, the Sea Owl and former Sea Owl talked about a whole lot of nothing. I'm not trying to be rude, but everything they said was about development that they talked about in past streams. At the end of the stream, they answered a massive 2 single questions. One of the questions was about dimensional double shift, but I will be civil for now. I will hold my tongue until it's my turn to complain. Million exposure question. Did they discuss the lore? Well, they kind of did. Alas, I was not mentioned, but they did say that the bots used the Wikipedia equivalent to make the simulations. That is the single, only piece of new lore content we got from an hour-long stream, besides additional development facts. They talked about the universe being a positive dystopia and that the bots don't mean harm. Now, I'm not sure if you heard, but I did that! I said that in my video! I spent a whopping 3 minutes defending the bots and their morals because of how often it was misinterpreted. That was me! Actually, I talked about all the new lore bits in my video. Everything they brought up, I could pull out a timestamp where I talked about that same exact thing. However, I will try to stay calm. For now. I swear to Job, I know more about this game than their own Sea Owl, and I've been here for only half a year. And it sucks, because the simulated social hour streams the mods do weekly have better microphone quality and give me more information about the characters than the stream. I learned that Vacation Bot likes wide coolers. That's something. That's character depth not shown in the games. That's what the fans want. Aren't they the reason why this whole thing is happening?
Wanted was to help you.
I only wanted to help. And what did you say to me?
Fly home, buddy. I work alone.
I am in the fandom. I'm quite big in the fandom on many of the social media sites, including Owlchemy's own Discord server. I've been referred to as a celebrity on the rare occasion, which warms my heart. I'm trying to stay humble, but you all mean the world to me for liking to hear me talk about these stupid games. Back to the fandom. I am in direct contact with some of the remaining fan base in the wasteland of Job Simulator. I'm sure there's more members scattered among the internet. My video didn't get 75k views, but my 10 friends are rewatching it 7,500 times. But these fans are definitely the most vocal about their complaints. They know I make videos, and from a new gen like me, I feel like if anyone has a right to complain about the mediocre anniversary, it would be the members who've been thugging it out since day one. Besides, they're just as involved and passionate about these games as I am. They deserve to have their voices heard because community is what makes a fandom strong. Even if I've asked my fair share of questions in the fan server and gotten my top hat full of differentiating opinions, takes, and thoughts, I'm going to pass the phone to 5 passionate fans of varying fandom age to explain how they felt about the celebration of 10 years of Job Simulator.
Hi guys, I'm Saxophone, the Sleaze Bandit #1 fan. I promise that I won't yap about them, even though they're my #1 ship ever. I've been in the Job Simulator community for around 4 years and absolutely love the games and draw way too many things of these bots. 10 years of Job Simulator, holy shit. 10 years of floating computers, mental, I know. Just during the anniversary week, I felt like the game was being overshadowed. Saxophone, stop being dramatic like bro. It's a game about floating computers. Who talks about jobs? Leave me alone, I love those floating computers in question. Anyways, yeah, I know. The week after was the Sportlando DLC release week, of course, but I feel that Job Sim could have had a week to itself without any other mention to the other games. It's the anniversary week, for God's sake. The selection of games Owlchemy have are amazing, but the constant mention of DDS with barely any acknowledgement of the other games apart from them being on sale honestly really upsets me. The concept of DDS is cool, not particularly a game I would play, but a cool concept where you can play with your friends. The thing is, hearing about it every week without no break has genuinely made me tired hearing about it due to the constant bombardment of DDS related posts. This is literally from an hour before I wrote the script for this, because I can't freestyle this. But the Job Sim tag was originally #Sportlando cosplay, I'm pretty sure, which was confusing when I saw that at first because isn't this supposed to be a Job Simulator cosplay tag, not a DDS cosplay tag? And let me add, fun fact, it was a typo. This anniversary though felt so empty, like happy birthday Job Sim? Yeah, anyways, bye, see you on your 15th birthday. The stream, for example, was about the game development, which was mentioned on a previous stream, and they were still mentioning DDS. Also the question part, only 2 questions were answered. Many were genuine questions about Job Sim. I asked about bot concepts apart from the ATM looking job bot, which is actual nightmare fuel, like what the hell? But I literally got completely blanked. I know it's limited time, but only 2 questions were answered, especially that there was already a half-hour delay in the stream, because I think it was mic issues. They should have just mimed the whole thing at this point. But the only things from the anniversary week so far that have been announced, but I haven't heard anything since, was the DDS job bot hat, the U2's job bot, then the cosplay tag and the fan art reposts. Right, new point. Vacation Simulator. Where was its anniversary? I'm pretty sure its anniversary is April 9th, April 8th, I'm not too sure. But 7 years, where's its happy birthday? Like, 7 years is still important, especially about a game of floating robots. No mention of it though, it's just pretty sad. I'm pretty sure it's going to be merged into the Job Sim anniversary, but they're not completely different games, but they're their own thing. And in fact, Vacation Simulator came out 3 years after. Yeah, anyways, this seems like I'm shitting on DDS, but I'm not. It's just the active campaigning for it compared to the other games though make me feel that the other games aren't as loved as they should be. But on a positive note, cheers Owlchemy for the games you've made. That sounds sarcastic, but I promise it is not. They're probably one of the coolest games I've seen in a long time, and I've not been so obsessed with any other game like that badly before. But anyway, thank you so much, and shout out to the devs, you are really cool. And shout out to my friends from the Job Sim Vacation Sim server. You guys are so amazing. And the fan art, I will eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Anyways, Sleaze Bandit lover. Ow!
What the heck is a DDS? Anyway, even though I'm not as invested in Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator as others, I can still rage at a blatantly bad business move. Neglecting what is, whether you like it or not, your main franchise is certainly a business move, to put it lightly. I thought money and satisfied fans was the goal here, guys. You have a starving community and a big anniversary. And sure, there is a U2s, but think of all the money here, Owlchemy. One tiny pin set of all of the guides, or even a digital art book. Or if you want the community to be happier, some art of the bots celebrating. Something here. Hell, if you want to focus on DDS so much, make a job sim or a vacation sim thing DDLC. There's so many options here. So long story short, I think Owlchemy is making a bad business move here, and everyone's angry about it, and there's a lot of ways to fix it. Alright, bye.
Hi. I'm Eli. I've only been in this fandom for a few months now, so I feel like I don't have a whole lot to contribute, but I have to say that I've never seen a company mistreat their biggest success or its fans in any fandom I've ever been in until I joined this one. It is, for a lack of better words, totally bizarre. It's been super disheartening as a new person in the job and vacation sim fandom to see how often Owlchemy dismisses us and these games in favor of shifting all of their focus onto Dimensional Double Shift. I understand DDS is their new game, and I'm sure it's great within its own right, speaking as someone who's never played it. But when it's to a point where Owlchemy is interrupting the 10-year celebration of their own game that essentially kickstarted their career to promote something DDS related, that just doesn't sit right with me. Me and a ton of other people were more than excited when Owlchemy announced that they were going to do a whole month of celebration for Job Sim's 10th anniversary. But by the time the first week was over, the hype had already died down. The entire thing felt so half-baked, and it was disappointing, to say the least. I wanted to end my section by saying I'm super grateful for the amount of creativity in the job and vacation sim fandom, and I hope everyone here continues creating fan content despite the lack of substantial acknowledgement on Owlchemy's part.
Heyo, I go by Cypherflow on Tumblr, but you can just call me Cypher. I've loved Job Sim pretty much ever since it came out. For 9 years, I've watched and rewatched videos of various YouTubers playing this game. It's a really important game to me. It introduced me to new YouTubers and introduced me to VR and gaming, as well as showing me funny and interesting characters, cool world building, and even helping me learn English. Discovering Vacation Sim inspired me to look into the community and seeing all the incredible and talented people in it, along with meeting some really cool friends. I joined the community just in time to celebrate the series' 10th anniversary. A big date, a whole decade. That deserves a big celebration. I heard about the community has been feeling a bit cast aside by the dev team, and I felt a little bit of that too, but surely they do something big this time. And look at that, a stream, a day after the actual date. Well, that's fine. They probably just need more time to prepare. And the stream is late, super buggy, and only had roughly 5 minutes for questions. This would not at all be a problem if we got anything relating to the game itself, but we only got stories about the development of the game and one merch drop. And that's pretty much it. An icon change, and change back before the end of the month, fan art shout out, and yep, that's pretty much it. Look, I understand, you want to focus on your other games, totally fine, but for Job's sake, it's the 10th anniversary of your biggest game, the game that brought in the fans and money to invest on your other games. The least it deserves is some proper recognition. The fans have been making the content we want to see for ages, and while it is fun, we hoped we would just see stuff from you too. We want to know that you care as much as we do, even if it is just for a month. We don't need a new game, though it would be cool. We don't ask for much. Even something small, like more character and world info / lore would be amazing to have. I still dream of buying a VR headset for myself in the future so I can finally properly experience both these games I love so much and grew up on. I care about these games a lot, and so does the rest of this community. Please show us that you care as well.
Where's the appreciation? Where's the sparkly monies at? Oh yeah, good one, bro.
I've been trying to avoid bringing this up, but it sadly is a big part of this 10-year event, and it's got its grubby hands all over it. Alright, Dimensional Double Shift, you can come in now. Dimensional Double Shift, for those unaware, is Owlchemy's current game. It was released back in 2024, and since then it's gotten 3 $5 DLCs. It's free, but is only available on MetaQuest, and you must use hand tracking to even play it. The game is very similar to Job Simulator in terms of what you do and the characters you interact with, and the devs know this. Whether people like it or not, Owlchemy has been very inclined to rope the two together in multiple ways. When it was first shown into the world, all they could say about it was that it was Job Simulator, but multiplayer. And to me, that's probably its biggest fault. Real quick, let's talk about my gripes with the stream again. Dimensional Double Shift was brought up 5 times too many. I get that the game is heavily based on Job Sim, and it's the game that they're actively promoting because it's what the team is working on. But can't we go a single stream without it being brought up, especially since this is supposed to celebrate Job Simulator? I don't even think Vacation Simulator was brought up in depth. The only thing they got was a brief discussion about their Endless mode, which looped back into DDS. Oh my, it pains my heart to be so disappointed in a stream. My expectations weren't the highest thing ever, but I was expecting something, anything. I don't like complaining about my favorite game, especially when the developers of said game actively watch my content, but something needs to be said. The fandom's been banging on the trapdoor since the release of Inside Job, and the weight of 3 DLCs won't lock the door. I'm not trying to speak for the whole fandom, there's a reason I brought others to share their own thoughts, but we, as a community, share a lot of the same sentiment. However, this section is going to be primarily what I think and my general opinion, but I will be using we. Keep in mind, there's always exceptions. Now, call me crazy, put a tinfoil hat on me if you may, but this feels like a marketing stunt to promote DDS's new DLC, Sporlando. Sporlando came out on the 23rd of this month. It makes sense why Owlchemy would want to advertise their new DLC because cash is nice. I respect the hustle. It still feels horribly forced into this celebration. I can name a couple examples that support this. First off, the JobBot hat. The JobBot hat is a free hat you can unlock for booting up DDS until the 1st of May. That's it. You can equip it moves around, joy. I think it's cute, but my amusement is also similar to a baby's. JobBot is there, you could wear him on your head. What else do you need? I'm not saying that the fact it's in DDS is the reason for my hate. My hate comes from the cosmetic itself and the intentions behind the cosmetic. That's all it is. A hat. No special quirk about it, no custom dialogue that plays when you do certain tasks. We couldn't even have an everlasting crowd like Garden Warfare 2. That would have been so cool! Imagine the JobBot hat making commentary while you shift. It's based off the plushie in-game, which does talk. There is no special quest to unlock it, no task you have to complete, not even a cameo from JobBot himself. It's there in the rewards and now it's in your inventory. It's underwhelming. It doesn't feel genuine at all. His name isn't even spelled right in the promotion. No, I am not letting that go. His name is one word. You said it yourself. I wish it was a genuine month-long event where you had to complete tasks and shifts to unlock more than one cosmetic. Think outfits, rings, whatever. If DDS is so focused on customization, then show me. Let me wear everything Job Simulator related. And if JobBot or VacationBot or one of the bots showed up in the lobby introducing the quest, that would have been really cool. We could even get canon in-game Alice and JobBot interactions. The Simulatorverse does exist in DDS, you said it yourself. Owlchemy, if you want us to play your game, give us a reason to, because with the hat that you receive upon booting up doesn't give us a reason to actually play the game, especially since the hat has nothing to offer that would make us interested. DDS also left its mark on things outside the game too. When Owlchemy hosted their cosplay showcase for Job Simulator, the longest time the tag to submit photos was #SporlandoCosplay. However, when I asked about it in the Discord server, the mods claimed it was a typo and promptly fixed it on all their websites to just tag the company. It could be an honest mistake, but I could have sworn the CEO said it was Sporlando Cosplay in the stream itself. Actually, on their channel, they posted 2 whole videos about Job Simulator during this week. There were a short about Dimensional Double Shift being compared to Job Simulator, and a clip video. You guys promoting the game that you're actively trying to replace Job Simulator with in multiple ways on Job Simulator's 10th birthday is extremely rude, especially to the fans. Oh, they were mad. This situation is oddly similar to the boat Rayman was in for the past 10 years. If you don't know, I am a fairly big Rayman fan. My first commentary videos are Rayman related. I know an awful lot about these games, along with the community when certain things went down. Rayman is fairly similar to Job Simulator in comparison to their parent companies, Ubisoft and Owlchemy. I will make the disclaimer that Owlchemy is not similar to the multi-million AAA studio that is Ubisoft, considering that Owlchemy only has like 50 members on their team. But hear me out for a second. I'm talking about the treatment of the franchise that basically got them on the map. On his 25th anniversary, Rayman got diddly squat, and the Rabbids, the franchise that grew from Rayman like a tumor to fall off and run away screaming with his huge features, got a new mobile game. This angered many of the fans for obvious reasons, especially since this was during an era Rayman was only getting mobile games. However, unlike Owlchemy, Ubisoft has no obligation to care for Rayman besides his legacy because they have much bigger franchises like Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, and the Rabbids to keep the money flowing in. Even if it sucks to kick their day one to the curb, they're not struggling without him. I mean, like, back then, I heard Ubisoft isn't in the best financial pickle right now. Job Simulator isn't Owlchemy's day one. There were 9 other games released before it, but it is certainly the company's first major success. It was the thing back in 2016. Every mainstream YouTuber played it. It was, and still is, their cash cow. Look at the comparison in views, in fan art, and likes. The clip compilation was the first video to break past 500 views in the past 5 months. People want Job Simulator. I'm not trying to downplay DDS. I've played my fair share of the game, and it's not bad. It's a rough and repetitive game with nothing that really stands out, sure, but it's an objectively okay game. My point is that for a week, month, day to celebrate Job Simulator, the game that gave your company a future, I'd expect more to praise it, more to show thanks for its legacy. Besides, this constant shoving is harming DDS as well. From the very beginning, Dimensional Double Shift's big tagline was, "It's Job Simulator, but multiplayer." The humans you play as look like carbon copies of the ones from Vacation Simulator. Alice is literally Jobbot if he was a girl and had a bit more personality. DDS was never really allowed to become its own game, and I can't make it clear enough. So I don't understand why you get mad when people refer to shifts as jobs. You're not really helping your case here. Our hatred for DDS doesn't necessarily stem from the game itself. We're not mad because Jobbot's been replaced by some ball, though I cannot speak for everyone, and yes, people in the job sim space do genuinely despise DDS, but it's not solely because of the attention it's been getting. Listen, Cosmonia's High fans are Job's strongest soldiers. I salute to you guys. However, I think the main difference between Cosmonius' ignorance and Job Simulator's ignorance is that Cosmonius is just getting that, ignored. For Job Simulator, Job Sim fans are not getting ignored per se, but Owlchemy is actively not giving us content in favor of DDS being there. They are so similar after all. I mean, why play and want more Job Simulator when there's a newer game with better graphics and gameplay? And that's Owlchemy's biggest mistake when understanding their fanbase. Even if the technology is primitive, or if the sequel didn't sell as good, Job Simulator is still the preferred game among many players. It made you, all we, as the fans, ask us acknowledgement further than that fuck-ass Jobbot PNG with stock images slapped onto it. Give us the characters, give us artwork celebrating Jobbot's birthday with all the main bots, give us something that we don't have to make ourselves. The fan art showcase was nice, but we had to make the fan art. The cosplay event is cute, but we had to make the cosplay. The stream with Devin Reimer coming back was awesome, but we couldn't ask a single question till the last 5 minutes of the already broken stream. The fandom has been working infinite overtime to produce content for this game, to keep the fanbase alive. All we ask is a break, a little help to oil the machine. We, or I guess me, aren't asking for another game. If you genuinely don't know what to do for a third game, that's fine, but we just want something. I want more solid lore. I know you guys brushed it off as something you didn't fully focus on, but if I'm able to stretch that shit out to an hour, there must be something there that you guys are forgetting about. I guess this is where I put my call to action, right? To rally up the troops and storm Owlchemy's comments begging for more content, to hold my mug up high as I explain the steps to get a new game from the company. But I don't really want anyone to do that. Well, I do, but it's complicated. The issues aren't just about DDS, though it's one of the big ones. DDS is always going to exist and is always going to be promoted. We can't tell them to scrap a whole ass game because Jobbot doesn't appear. That's disrespectful to the fans of DDS, even if Job Simulator is probably older than half of them, and the developers working on the game. There's obviously passion behind DDS, just like any other Owlchemy game. There's a soul in it, even if it is kind of mid. The issue is that this celebration was hyped by Owlchemy themselves, only to be horribly lackluster. You guys changed your profile and said in the blog yourself that it would be a month-long event. You guys hyped the stream because there was 2 sea owls in a room talking about Job Simulator. So yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm upset even. Am I the one at fault for having hope? Maybe I am. Owlchemy is, by all technicality, not indie. They are owned by Google. I assume Google is the big guy who calls the shots. They're the ones pushing for technological innovation over a good story because that's what corporations do. Cosmonia's High was critically acclaimed, but a financial flop. Guess which point the company would be interested in? I mean, why else would they post the Android XR with releasing a game from their biggest franchise on it and having it only be on that device? Google created that headset in collaboration with Samsung. So, it's not necessarily Owlchemy's fault for not making a third game, or having Inside Job be more accessible, or for Dimensional Double Shift only utilizing hand tracking. I don't think they can do all that much in terms of a new game. That's why this whole thing isn't supposed to shoot down the developers at Owlchemy. They are doing their best, and I'm thankful for all the passion they put into their games, even if it's not my favorite thing personally. When I say Owlchemy, I mean it as a brand, a company, and maybe the big guys in charge. And the company isn't full of people who hate Job Simulator. I know the developers love Job Simulator and Cosmonious High and all their properties. The community managers like Leanna and Haley are really nice and kind. Their arms must hurt from the fact they are literally holding up the bridge between fan and dev. So, no, it's not the fault of the workers. It's the fault of Owlchemy as a brand. It's the fault of not showing Job Simulator love on their week of celebration. This isn't a call to action, it's more of a heads up, a letter of notice, a soapbox I've stepped upon to talk to the ones above me to support that bridge between creator and fan base. I don't expect anything to change in terms of big game development. I don't expect Owlchemy to backtrack on their celebration and give us something grand. It would be appreciated, yes, but it wouldn't have fixed the immense amount of disappointment many of us shared when you didn't provide. It's too little, too late. So, this message goes to Owlchemy as a company to warn them for the future, whoever the person behind the owl is. Appreciate your fanbase, your games, Job Simulator, Cosmonious High, Discourse. Appreciate the time and effort your fans make to create as we appreciate the time and effort you guys make to create. I can appreciate funtivities and a starboard and a leaderboard that have been added into the server. They're fun, but I don't know, maybe more fan art showcases would be nice. A community spotlight here and there? If not that, make more doodles involving the characters, show some concept art, original story beats, tell me more about the companies in the world. I don't know, I'm just sick of the same 3 development stories. I don't hate Owlchemy. Their games are phenomenal with so much soul in every single detail. I do hate, or greatly dislike, the recent business practices in terms of their respect towards Job Simulator and its fans. If you want to go into their comments to show your appreciation and love for Job Simulator, be my guest. All I am is a sad fan who wants to see more content of the silly robot guys. And hey, if you're so scared to talk about the lore, just say my video is 100% factual and correct. I wouldn't complain, less duties on your end, right? What is up, everybody? I don't make as obvious rant videos like this. I try to be more formal, but I feel like this needs to be said. Real quick, I would like to thank all the lovely folk who've drawn fan art of me or my characters. I have them all saved and I look at them daily. They're all adorable and they mean the world to me. If you have something you'd like to share, tag me here or any of my other socials, or if you want, you can just send it to me. If you like this style of video, let me know in the comments. Sometimes I worry I'm too negative, but if this is interesting, let me know. And if you have ideas, I'm welcome to those too. Just try to keep it on topic to what I normally make. Before I'm banned from the Owlchemy server, I would like to make it clear again that I don't hate DDS. I do have my fun in that game, but my poor BetaQuest 2 my brother bought off Mercari is not equipped for hand tracking. But I may make a future video about that game, probably in the style of this one. Listen, man, I'm just the messenger. I'm happy with my 2 pieces of french fries. Besides, you guys always say you're welcome to feedback, so here's my feedback. Honestly, I just wanted to get my thoughts down because I've been stewing on this for a long while. I don't mean to kill DDS or anything, I just really like Job Simulator. Special thanks to my friends who volunteered to share their thoughts. All their socials will be linked below if you'd like to check them out. And thanks to my buddy Tempe for letting me mooch off their DDS DLCs. Respectfully, I don't play the game enough to warrant me spending $15 on it. That's all I have for today. Happy birthday, Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator.